Welcome back to Meet the Owners. I'm here with Melissa, and she's the owner of Lasting Order, or is it The Lasting Order?
Just
Lasting Order.
Yep.
And today we're going to learn about her business. You just bought it,
I
and we're
did.
excited to hear about that. And your family has lots of entrepreneurship going on,
Yeah.
so you're just revving to go.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Joe.
It's my pleasure. So let's get into it. Tell us about what made you want to buy The Lasting Order, and tell us what it is for those who don't know.
Okay, so my story goes back just a little bit. So Lasting Order is professional organizing services and moving. And so we go into homes and we organize people. Sometimes they have chronic disorganization. Sometimes they're hoarders or pre-hoarders, or sometimes they just have extra money but not the time, and they'd like us to come in and do that to make their life a little bit easier because they value organization. And then we have a whole other moving component where if you're moving, we can pack you up and unpack you and create those systems in your new home.
That is really nice. Moving is one of those things where it's like there's so much to be done.
Yeah. It's a stressful time no matter who it is. And so we love to go in there with a lot of compassion and gentleness, but also efficiency, and wrap up all their belongings so that it has a safe move. And then, I think what we hear most from people is that when we get to the new home, they love the systems that we put in place for them so that they can just live life in their new house.
That's awesome. Do you guys go to the house and unpack?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the works.
I'll tell you more about it. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
But you asked me how we got here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that goes back a little bit. When little Melissa was like 7 years old, I dressed up as a business owner 3 years in a row. I've got receipts.
For Halloween?
For Halloween.
Nice.
I've got receipts for that. Yeah. So I always knew that I wanted to be a business owner. My dad has been owning businesses for 40 years. And so I was selling real estate in St. Louis. And before that, I was a stay-at-home mom. And I always found myself in leadership positions. I always found myself solving problems. And so basically, it got to the point about a year ago where we were like, we just want to live by family. Like, we miss our family. We want to come back to Evansville. And so I called my dad up and I was like, I know you're on the brink of retirement, but how about you don't retire just yet and you teach me how to buy businesses? And he said, let's go. So thankfully, my amazing husband was on board and we moved our 3 kids to Evansville. And at that time, Lasting Order was not on my radar. I didn't know it. It was a huge leap of faith. And so when we got here, I had a friend say, hey, I know you want to buy a business. Amy Payne wants to sell Lasting Order. I met with her and we got a deal together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how old are your kids?
12, 7, and 9.
12, 7. Those are good numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Boys, girls?
I have 2 girls. My 2 oldest are girls, and then I have a little boy.
Nice. You put them to work in the little family business?
You know, you got to take those tax write-offs where you can.
That's right.
No, they love to help, and they're so sweet. They always are asking me questions like, how's the organizing business, Mommy? So it's really sweet.
That's so cool. So you bought the business. How long have you guys owned it?
Since November.
Since November. It's April, so 5-6 months, roughly.
Yeah.
And what does that transition look like?
Yeah, so, you know, one of the things that my father is teaching me is how to buy businesses. So that's the goal for the next 3 to 5 years, is to buy businesses. Lasting Order, I absolutely love it. This business has become a real passion project for me. That being said, I did not know anything about being an organizer when I purchased the company. And so when we bought the business, it was one of those things where I had to learn a new industry that I knew nothing about. And I love that. Probably my ADHD. Give me something to fixate on and master, and I'll just sink my teeth into it. And so coming out of the gates, I had to hire a business manager because kind of what I do is I don't work in the businesses, I work on the businesses. So I hired an amazing business manager. Shout out to Amanda. We love you so much. And then I just had to figure out where I wanted to take this company. And
That's awesome. Yeah. So you work on the business. How much work did you have to do in the business as soon as you bought it? Do you have to just dive in?
I did, yeah. Which I think, I am such an experiential learner, and that whole trial by fire. So going in and learning how to organize, how to do consultations, how to network, trying to find out who needs our services and how can I meet them where they're at. I think I mentioned a second ago, like I love solving problems. And so when I bought this business, my whole first thought process is in Evansville and Newburgh, what are the pain points that people have when it comes to organization and moving, and how can our company serve them? So that's what I've been focusing on the last 5 months.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. Have you had to change a lot of stuff that the previous business owner was doing, or was it just like rolling and you're like, I just got to learn, but it's operating on its own almost?
So I would say Amy Payne, I don't know if you know her, but do you know her?
I don't know if I know her. I think we've talked enough to where it's like, I'm familiar with Amy Payne now, but I don't actually know her.
I'll have to introduce you. She's lovely. She had set up such a robust company, and she has incredible systems in place that it was very easy to just step into the systems that she had going. And obviously it's an organizing company. So she was incredibly organized. So that was amazing. But yeah, she handed us something really beautiful. And so that let me have space to say, how can we take this to the next level?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so next 3 to 5 years, you're trying to buy more businesses. What have you learned by buying this business? You're like, okay, I made a mistake here. I won't do that again.
Oh man, okay, a lot of mistakes. So my whole thought process is just failing forward. So when I did real estate, when I was a stay-at-home mom, I know that I don't have all of the answers. And so I try to really surround myself with people that do, like my dad. And so that's really, me moving here and learning alongside him, my whole thought process in everything that I've done is just learn before you earn. And so I have done things, and I don't know if I want to put it on camera, but
that's
I can, where I've made mistakes, and luckily I've had the safety net of my dad to be like, that was not a good move. I wouldn't do that again. And that was really helpful to have somebody that loves me and is cheering me on to say, like, that's not how you should do it moving forward, but it's okay. We'll move past that. And so,
Well, you got to learn somehow.
Yes. Yeah. And I got the training wheels on, so I feel really good.
That's good. When I took this full time, I was like, I'm ready. I know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh wow, I learned more being full time in a week than doing it like full time on the side.
Yeah.
Like it's a completely different ballgame.
But I would say, one of the things I can tell you though is I love being with people. I love the networking. I love the marketing. All of that really makes me excited. The part that I've probably struggled with the most is the QuickBooks portion.
Oh my goodness.
QuickBooks
is the worst.
I know, it's so hard. And I've with all of our other companies, I use QuickBooks Desktop, and then this is QuickBooks Online. So that has been like learning an entire new language. Yeah.
Tell you what, they make it seem like it's user friendly. And my buddy set me up. He was going to school to be accounting, and he worked at some places. And he's like, let me take a look. And he's like, okay, we're going to change this and this. I'm like, that's much more helpful.
Okay.
But there's so many big words and the numbers. And I'm like, I don't know.
You're creative, Joe.
I'm creative. I like the business part, though, where it's like, hey, I know like we can make some money here. But when you start getting into the little micro details of stuff, I'm like taxes are the worst. I hate taxes. Just so many things. It's like there's so many little complications that we don't need.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so I feel you. But that's awesome though. You have your dad who has your back. The rest of your family seems to be supportive.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
When I discussed this with my husband, we made this decision together. And my husband is a pastor at City Church, and so he didn't have a job. I didn't have a business. We really took a leap of faith.
That is a big leap of faith.
And I think what has been nice is my husband, Charlie, we just decided like we really feel like this is what we want to do and where we're supposed to go. And so that his support and just always believing in me and cheering me on has been incredible. And then obviously my parents would have done just about anything to have their grandbabies nearby. So at one point my dad was like, do I buy him a church? Like, how do I get Charlie here, you know?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Melissa, what sets your guys' brand apart from others in the industry? And also, I don't know if I know of any other organizing companies in Evansville.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of organizers in the tri-state area. So what sets ours apart are there are a lot of cleaners in the area. And so I'll
Okay.
see on Facebook, these sweet mamas will say like, I can organize your closet or whatever. What is distinct about us is our organizers are highly trained. They've been trained by a certified professional organizer. We have a lot of certifications, and then we also do continual education every single month. So
Nice.
all of my organizers have to submit to me how they're learning, how they're growing, how they're sharpening their skills, because we always want to give our clients top tier service. And we always get feedback that our organizers are the most gentle, compassionate, empathetic, but also highly efficient and hardest working.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool. So, what does one of your organizers? What does that look like? Someone calls you, hey, we want someone to organize. What's the A to Z process?
Okay, so if you call us, we will do about a 15-minute phone consult with you to discuss your project.
Okay.
And then we set up a time to go to your house, which is about an hour long. And we have a lot of emotional and environmental questions to ask you to help determine what you need. And so we'll walk through your home, we'll take pictures, and we kind of are making a plan of what package you need, how we best can help you, what products we need to bring into your home to make your home as streamlined as possible and organized. And so once we do the consultation in home, then we talk to them, we tell them what package we think would be best for them, and then our organizers go over there in either 3 or 4 hour shifts. And really, it can look like a lot of things. So a lot of times we will, like right now is garage season. We have a lot of people calling. It's not too hot. They want to be able to use their garage more. Maybe they haven't put all their Christmas decor away. So we'll come out when the weather's nice and organize their garage. We also do a lot of decluttering. So we work with a lot of seniors. And we're a part of this organization called NASM, which is National Association of Senior Move Management.
Okay.
And so we work with seniors who, as you get older, you're tired. You probably have been organized most of your life, but maybe you haven't emptied your file cabinet in 15 years and there's no more space for papers. And so they pile up on the counter and then you don't get to see your countertops anymore. And so we work with all types of people. We also work with a lot of people that are chronically disorganized. And so they have ADHD or OCD and they have that executive function where they do want a clean house, they just don't know how to get that. And so we come in and we help them make decisions. And what I love about our organizers is that they're trained to help them determine, do you need this? Do you want to get rid of it? Do you want to donate it or trash it? And it's not in a way of like, you don't need this anymore, just pitch it. They really help people. I mean, we've even had some people where we're like, I know you don't need this anymore, let's hug it and then we'll give it to a new family. Like we do that with little kids' toys sometimes. It's really cute. So yeah. And then with moves, we do moves. We will declutter because we always tell them we want to protect your bottom line. We don't want you to move anything that you don't need because that costs money. So we'll go through and we'll help you declutter and then we will pack everything up so that nothing moves. And then we will go to your new home and unpack you, and then we'll set up your kitchen, your closets, whatever, so that you can just start living your life.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
seems very comfortable, like nothing
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know I can't be in that line of work because I'd be like, burn it all.
I know. Well, and I think what people don't really understand is that when you have a lot of stuff in your house and you have a stranger like me coming into your home to do that consultation, I have to say this to every client I have is that I'm not going to judge you. And there's no shame. We can help you. I think people are always assuming that what I have going on is the worst you'll see. And I'm like, no, honey, I've seen way, way worse. And then also we're highly confidential. And so I joke with people, I'm like, it's kind of like we have HIPAA. Like nobody will know that we're in your house helping you. But I will tell you my first consultation that I did after I bought the business, I totally cried in this lady's recliner. Like she's like, I just need help. And I'm like, we could totally help you. So what we do is having a huge impact and it's changing lives. And that feels really, really good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing a lot. There's a lot of emotions. Would you say most people have a lot of emotions when they're in there?
Yeah, I mean, we work with seniors who have been in homes for 40 years that are 4,000 square feet, and they are moving to a 2,000 square feet. They literally cannot take these possessions, and they have to let go of them. But sometimes it's your entire life's work that you have to leave behind or rehome, and that can be disorienting.
So how would you say has your stress levels changed since owning a business? How do you navigate that? Because 3 kids, cleaning up people's places, and they're emotional, you're emotional. That's a lot.
It is. Yeah. Owning businesses is no joke. You know that.
Yes, ma'am.
So for me personally, how I love to work out. I work out pretty much every single day. I love going on walks with my husband, especially downtown by the river. You will usually see us there in the evening time, taking a nice little stroll, playing game nights with my family and the kids. That's super fun. I personally, though, love to take a trip about every month in some capacity. I have wanderlust, and I need to just get out and experience a new part of the world.
So what does a trip look like for you? Just like a weekend getaway, a day trip?
No, usually a weekend, sometimes a long weekend. Nice. Yeah.
Where are you going? You just anything? You're like, I want to camp more? Or you're like, 1 week I'm camping, 1 week I'm in Nashville?
Okay, well, I'm not a camper.
Okay.
I could do glamping, but even glamping for me is like having my wine on a patio.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the extent of where I go. I want to be a camper, and the thought of it sounds so cool, but I'm too bougie for that.
That's okay.
Okay, sorry.
Everybody's built different.
We are, built different. Okay, I just spent a weekend in St. Louis. It was some of my girlfriends' birthdays, so I went with them, and we went out to dinner, and I went to art museums, which I love, and poetry reading. I recently also just went to another state, and I met about 15 girlfriends and did a bookcation. And so we all just rent a mansion, Airbnb, and we just read the entire weekend, and we go to dinner and talk about what we've read. And so I also will once a year go gambling with my dad and my brother.
Okay.
And so we'll go to Vegas, and I'll spend a couple days out there with them. And so, and then every year, my husband and I, on our anniversary, we eat and drink our way through a new city in the U.S. And so I think we're going to Napa this year for our 15th.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'll
You're
go
very
anywhere.
Adventurous, it sounds like. I like that.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be fun to go do like East Coast, like all the founding cities.
Oh, yeah.
Or colonies.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah. Well, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, so we're at that point now where we're starting to wrap up.
Yeah.
And we always ask one fun question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Okay. It's John Wick.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
I love a good vigilante moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you attacked his dog. He will literally murder hundreds of people.
It's not just any dog. It's the wife. It's the dog his wife gave him right after she died.
Yes.
So,
I was literally at the theater opening night of the 4th one. I was like, let's go. I need to see how this wraps up.
They're making another one.
Are they?
I heard that John Wick 5, supposedly, word on the street. Did the ballerina one come out yet?
I don't know.
Did you see the trailer for that?
No.
So it's some girl. I don't know.
Listen.
But it's the same universe.
Okay.
But supposedly they're making a 5th one.
This is like Christmas to me. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. I was with a friend of mine the other day, and he didn't know that he's a big Batman guy.
Okay.
And he did not know they made The Batman.
Oh.
So him and his son were watching the Dark Knight movies.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so are you a Dark Knight guy or the Batman guy? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, how did I miss this? It's the biggest, best day of his life. I was like, I got you.
Look at you, making dreams happen for people. That's awesome.
That's awesome. So John Wick. We have not gotten that one yet.
I know.
We get so many Tom Hanks movies. We get a lot of Tom Hanks.
Yeah. I mean, he's classic, so I get it. And I do love me some Tom Hanks, but Keanu Reeves is where it's at for me.
Keanu Reeves. Shoot. Wow, that's awesome. What a surprise.
I know.
So, last question, if you could have everyone go support one local business in Evansville that's not you, who would it be?
Okay, this is really hard for me because it's two. But,
go for it.
My nonprofit, I have a for-profit and a nonprofit answer, okay?
Okay.
My nonprofit would be SEMO. I love taking my kids there. I love supporting somebody that wants to enrich our community and create a really positive experience for children. So I love SEMO.
What is SEMO?
It's the Children's Museum of Evansville.
No way.
Yeah. Did you
Okay.
know we had a children's museum?
I knew we had a children. Did I know? I think it's right there downtown,
Yeah.
across from not the old National Event Plaza, the
Yes.
big stadium.
Yes.
Yes.
It's beautiful. The
Never
building is
been.
beautiful. Yeah.
Cool.
So I love SEMO, and then my for-profit rec would probably be Memo in downtown Evansville. So I love going to River City Coffee, getting a cup of coffee, and then perusing Memo because I love writing handwritten cards to friends, and they have the best selection. So I
No
love
way.
to go there.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And Memo is right next to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've walked by there. I've never been in.
It's so cute. You should
Maybe
take your wife.
I should take my wife or surprise her for her birthday.
They have great anniversary cards, Joe.
Our anniversary's coming up too. It's anniversary, birthday. They're kind of like back to back, 2 weeks time frame. So it's perfect.
They're very unique. You'll be surprised.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll put links to Instagram, Facebook, business, everything we can. So go follow her, subscribe to the channel so we can support more local businesses, and leave a comment of who you'd like to see on the show next.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Bye.